Hello, my name is Patrick Horgan, and this is my coursework for the apprenticeship. The course I'm doing is IT User, and the first unit I'll be covering is using the internet. Okay, I will be going through the criteria for this unit chronologically, and I shall begin with identifying different types of connection methods that can be used to access the internet. There are multiple methods that can be used to access the internet. I will name the three most commonly used methods. So of course there's just a normal connection to the internet using a router and a modem. So what the PC will do is connect either wirelessly or using an Ethernet cable to the router, which then connects up to the modem in the house or the building, and that will be connected to the ISP's network hub, which will then provide the internet. Like I said, that can be done via the Ethernet cable or the wireless, assuming that the router actually has the capability for wireless access. Another way that you can access the internet would be using a VPN tunnel. This is done by normally a server has connection to the internet, as does the PC connecting. However, the PC that's connecting to the server has all its traffic routed via the server to provide a much more secure and secretive way of accessing the internet. You can't be traced and you can't be located using your IP address. That would be done connecting your PC to the router. The router would then connect to the network. The network would then connect down to the server, and then your internet, all your browsing would go via that route up to the internet using their internet service provider. So all your internet service provider would be doing is connecting you to the server. The third way to connect to the internet would be using 3G and mobile networks. There are two main mobile networks, 3G and 4G. The advantage of this are you can access the internet from anywhere, relatively, that has a fair or good mobile signal, such as towns, parks and villages, or anywhere that has a reception mast. The advantage of this is weighed against the disadvantage that the mobile network is considerably slower than any other connection method, maxing out around 7 megabytes per second. Comparing that to, that's maxing out. Normally it will get around 2 megabytes a second. Comparing that to a home, which gets around 8 to 15 megabytes at the low end of the spectrum. Saying that, 4G is considerably faster and can actually rival some medium range household internet speeds. However, the cost of it is significantly more. The drawbacks from using a VPN connection is that it can be very buggy and it's not a perfect system. So you can lose connection quite often, and if it's set up incorrectly you can lose connection altogether. Of course, the advantages are you can connect to someone else's network. For instance, if you took a work laptop home, you could VPN onto your work network and still access the files that are on the server, even though you're not in the actual building. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just a little demonstration of getting on the internet and doing a few different things. So for this exercise I'll be using Google Chrome. This is a very good browser. It's a lot less buggy than some of the other ones that are out at the moment. And I'm going to be using, again, google.co.uk as my search engine. I will you can use search engines to find pretty much any web page that is registered on that service provider's list of acceptable websites. So for the moment I will demonstrate this by going to Wikipedia. Nice common website. So I can navigate using the search engine to this website. Then when on this website, there's even more ways to navigate around all the different pages. So Wikipedia is a really good example of this. It's got multiple ways of searching the website and accessing different pages. As you can see, all of these words in blue are actually hyperlinked to different pages. So each one of these has a full page or article on that subject. For instance, the World Championship. Click that, so that will bring us up to the Formula 1 World Drivers' Championship, and it has lots of details on that. And then we can go to Sebastian Vettel. Again, really simple, straight to the page, just has information on him. Now on Wikipedia, anyone can make these pages, so there is actually a lot of overlapping of page names. They get around this by only linking the relevant ones to that subject. For instance, World Championship here will go back to the Formula 1 World Championship. However, as you will know, there are multiple World Championships around the world for different events, so each one will most likely have a different page on it. Another way to navigate around the website will be to use the search bar at the top right hand corner. Very useful. However, the one used on this website is different to most other ones in that it won't give you a list of ones to choose from, of options to choose from. It will bring you to the most relevant page. So if I go to Epson, for instance, that will bring me to Sigur Epson. It's a corporation, which is what I was looking for. However, if I wanted Epson UK or Epson printers or Epson US, I'd have to specify or search using a different engine. Another way to navigate around the web pages will be to use the menus. On this website in particular, they are located on the left hand side with main headings such as tools and then subheadings going down here. Now not all of these have subheadings, some of them are just main headings such as contents, feature content, current events. So that's the that's essentially how you will navigate around any type of website. They're all fairly similar. They will all have a menu with headings and subheadings, and most of them will have a search bar. This is kind of unique in the way that it uses hyperlinks. That's why I like to use this one as an example. Okay, now just want to point out a quick feature that is included on most web browsers. It's called the find function. Now this is very useful for trying to find certain information on pages where you might have 10,000 different words and you want to find one section. So all you have to do is, like, if I want to find every instance of the word printer on this web page, it will give me every single instance where that word was used and highlight them for me. And I can scroll through each one individually. As you can see, they're in red, and the one that I'm highlighting here will be in a slightly different colour. And that works on pretty much all web pages. What I like about the version in Chrome is that on the right hand side it actually gives you, on the scroll bar, the location of each one, which is very, very good. Okay, now I'm going to move away from using Wikipedia, going to go back to Google for a moment, .uk, and we are also going to go to the settings. Now I want to talk about optimizing your browser performance and personalizing it for yourselves. So there are a few ways you can do this, and it's relatively similar for all browsers. So you can, for instance, the home page, you can change that on all of them. So if I click show the home button, it's currently going to mysearch.avg.com. I don't want that. I want Google. So let me change that. Google.com. Oops, if I can spell. Google.com. There we go. So now my homepage is google.com. Fantastic. So every time I click home, it will bring me there. Another way to do this, which is a bit more specific, is when you start up Chrome, so the first one you'll see. Again, it's set to an AVG site. I don't want that. I want to go to Facebook every time I open it, turn on the internet. And I want to delete that one. So now whenever I start up Chrome, it will bring me straight to Facebook. Fantastic. It's a nice, easy way to customize the browser to your own individual needs. One that's more important is this one. Set the search engine used for the Omnibox. The Omnibox is this little field here at the top. So for Google, they've integrated the address box with the search box for the Omnibox. Lots of boxes. It is simply, if you put www. a website, it will bring you to the website. If you put in the website name, it'll search it in Google for you, or whichever search engine you choose. So if we go on here, there's multiple things you can choose. You could do yahoo.com, Bing, Ask Jeeves, or Google set as default. However, it's not limited to that. There's also other search engines you can use, such as Wikipedia, and that'll literally search Wikipedia for you every time you type something in. So if you do a lot of research, that'd be really good. Or eBay. So if you are constantly buying and selling things, or if that's all you want this laptop for, perfect. You can set it as that. I don't. I want it as Google, so I'm going to leave that as that at the moment. Okay, so that's a few ways that you can adjust your browser settings to optimize performance and meet your needs. I just quickly want to go through a few more bits that will help you do that, and also just improve the performance of a browser. So the simplest way to improve a browser is obviously uninstall it and reinstall it. The reason for that is it will get rid of all add-ons and extensions and stuff that you've installed accidentally. Now, I'm fairly on top of mine, so I don't actually have many on here. I've got 2 that are actually active. So I've got AdBlock and Google Docs. If I wanted to speed up my performance, for instance, I could disable these. As it stands, they're fairly small applications that help me more than slow me down. Okay, so AdBlock Plus, for instance, is a generic ad blocker. So it will block any kind of ad on the internet, on Facebook, YouTube, or any kind of music site. It will also help me from being affected by malware, bringing up pop-ups. That's the use of that, and it can really improve the performance of the browser. It doesn't take me away to random pages and makes it a lot more secure. Google Docs is just a small program to open documents with Google, which is useful. Okay, so we now know how to navigate web pages, find appropriate information, and use techniques to locate them efficiently. We know how to connect to the internet, we know different types of internet, and we know how to optimize the browser. Next thing we're going to go on to is downloading information and stuff like that. Now on the web there is a large amount of illegal and otherwise nefarious files, such as movies, stuff like that that's copyrighted that you're not supposed to download. But at the same time, there's a huge amount of free and freeware and documents that you can download, like tutorials and stuff. and information on web pages for research. So I'm going to go through the process of downloading some of those files. For this, I'm actually going to go back to Wikipedia briefly, and I will go back to Epson. Okay, so if I, for instance, want to download this entire web page as it is, it's very difficult to just download it because of the way that it's made. However, what I can do is save as, and this will literally do the entire website in one. But the way it does it is slightly different to what you might expect. Okay, because that's just saved. There we go. So if we go to Documents, Epson, this is the web page. So all of the pictures, all of the icons, everything's been downloaded. Here's that lovely picture of the whatever that is. See, that gives you everything, all the pictures and files. This file here is the actual page, so that just puts it all together again. You can still use all of these, but as you can see up here, it says File, all of this. So that means instead of pointing at en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Epson, it's pointing at my C drive on the local machine. So even if I didn't have the internet, I could still access this website. That's a fairly unusual way of looking for data, but if you need to copy a web page exactly as it is, it's perfect. Okay, now I'm going to go through downloading pictures. It's a bit more common place, so I want a new background. Let's go for a grey background. So I'll search that, find a picture I like, beautiful, okay. I'll view the image, right click, save image as, and it's as easy as that. Just click save. So it's very similar to the way we download the entire web page, but it's just with that one file, and that's how downloading most things on the internet works. Some videos even have a link underneath. If you right click the link and click save as, you can save that file. It's a really clever way of doing things. There's also websites that specifically have files to download and their own way of downloading them. And there's lots of different ways to do it. YouTube, for instance, there are programs that will let you download YouTube videos. However, YouTube does not have a feature to let you download them for copyright reasons. Okay, now I want to talk about making it easier for you to actually look at a page. Like, if I wanted to keep this page forever, I wanted to keep going back to this page, but I did not want to download the whole thing. I want to be able to move around the website freely, and if it gets updated, I want to see it being updated. So I'll bookmark it, and it's really easy on Chrome. All you have to do is go to this little star, click it, choose where you'd like to put it. So I'm just going to put it on the bookmark bar for the moment, and click done. So now it's up here, this little bar. So I've got quite a few different things, bookmarks up there. So if we click the Epson, it will bring us straight back to that web page. Fantastic. Okay. Next thing I want to go through is basically sharing information and communicating with the online community. So to do that, what we're going to do is go to YouTube. I'm going to go to YouTube and select a video. So for the moment I'm going to use Cyanide and Happiness channel trailer. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to click into the comments and say and just As easy as that. Any comment, any blog, any reply that's public on the internet, you are effectively communicating with whoever looks at that. So communicating on the internet is very simple, and you can even rate what other people are saying. That's a way of communicating. You're giving them feedback on what they've put up on the internet. Making blogs, using Facebook, posting statuses is all an example of using the internet to communicate with others. I'm actually going to use Facebook as an example now, for instance. So if I go to Facebook, log in. Now I like this video a lot, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy the link up here. I'm going to go onto my Facebook, select one of my friends, and I will send them over a video. Beautiful. Okay, so now my friend can watch that video as well. That way I'm directly communicating privately with another person on the internet. That's another example of how you communicate. And thousands of people do it every day on these social media sites. Okay, so now I want to talk a bit more about the security of using the internet. Okay, so I went over briefly using AdBlocker. AdBlocker is one of the best tools, I think, for the internet and keeping yourself secure. It stops pop-ups which lead to Trojans and other malware, which can seriously affect the security of your machine. Or, if you think about it in the sense of viruses, a PC that is not connected to the internet will never get a virus, ever, unless you plug more stuff into it that has had a connection to the internet. Like if you plug your memory stick into an infected PC, it can become infected, or a carrier. You plug it into a machine that's never touched the internet, it could still infect that PC. So the internet is really the root cause of every virus and piece of malware that you can think of. PCs themselves do not become ill. They can't catch viruses. So internet security is one of the main threats. Now obviously every PC has a built-in firewall to protect them against these threats. At least Windows ones do. This might not be the case for some Linux-based operating systems, but in general they do. So that helps prevent you from downloading stuff that you don't want to. In conjunction with antivirus, which is a very key thing that every PC should have if it is to be secure. If it does not have that, it is at risk of you being infected and possibly you losing your personal data to fraudulent people. So what I'm going to do quickly now is install a quick bit of anti-malware, I guess you can call it, called Spybot Search and Destroy. I might actually even have it installed. Yes, I do. Okay, so I'll go through the website anyway, and I'll show you the program. So, Spybot Search and Destroy, really easy. Download, safe. Just download a free version. There we go, free for private use. Spybot Search and Destroy 1.6.2. Okay. Now I'll just open that up. So what this does, it basically runs in the background all the time. It will, when you download things or something tries to connect your PC, this will basically intercept it, scan it, and decide whether it's to let you go. If it doesn't work, then you can obviously initiate system scans and file scans. So if you think that that file is a bit dodgy, you can select that file from the file scan and make sure that it will not be a threat. So that's really important when you're downloading files from like attachments online maybe, or any kind of thing like that. Okay, so we've covered most of the bases for using the internet and the security involved in using the internet.